everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and instead of doing a comic book countdown, I'm going to talk about a Marvel crossover story arc that concluded this week, known as the Black Vortex. Now, the Black Vortex was built up, or rather alluded to, pretty much had its groundwork laid in the issues of Legendary Star-Lord. And if you're not reading that, you should. It's a very awesome series. And in fact, that title's writer, Sam Humphries, was pretty much the plotter of the story arc. When I say plotter, I mean he kind of had the overall idea about this. Every single issue, though, that was involved, Guardians of the Galaxy, Nova, Captain Marvel, All New X-Men, those were all written by their own respective writers. Here's the synopsis. Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde steal the Black Vortex from Peter Quill's dad, Jason, aka Mr. Knife. And the reason they take the Black Vortex is because Jason has just pretty much powered up his whole squad of goons, aka the Slaughter Squad, now known as the Slaughter Lord, since they've reached their full cosmic potential. Because the power of the Black Vortex originally it was created by the Celestials, and it has the ability to give anyone who looks into it their full cosmic potential as long as they submit to the power of the Vortex. Now, pretty much after the first battle, where Katie and Peter Quill have called in the Guardians of the Galaxy and the X-Men to help them fight the Slaughter Lords and keep the Black Vortex at bay. After that, it pretty much becomes a whole capture the flag situation, and also the heroes are pretty much torn whether or not they should actually use the power to help them or not, because it is dangerous. Although some heroes do submit to the power of the Vortex, such as Gamora, Adult Beast, Angel, Cyclops, Groot, and Iceman, although the last three only submitted because they had no choice when they were captured. Also, Ronan the Accuser. He gets power from the Black Vortex, but more on that. But that's more or less something that's going to be deal with in the near future. Anyways, eventually though, when the Black Vortex winds up back in the hands of Jason, the next person to use it is Thane, the son of Thanos. And the reason Jason gets him involved is because he's manipulating Thane to help him take down Spartax, because Jason made a deal with the Brood that he would pretty much sell the plan of Spartax to them, and he's able to do that by convincing Thane, who's now cosmically powered, to use his ability of living death to encase the entire planet in amber, which allows the Brood to send in their warriors and get ready. Well, not warriors; they're little parasites to sneak it, to attack all the people on Spartax and try to tune to their heads and possess the people, because that's what the Brood do. Ultimately, though, in the end, the heroes realize that in order to really win, they have to submit to the power of the Vortex. And at first, Peter Quill almost does it, but when he gets a vision of what this power is going to lead him, how this power is going to lead him to basically fame and being a hero, he loses Kay in the process, and he doesn't want that. And Kitty Pryde, though, she decides to submit to the Black Vortex, and she basically ascends to this. She's able to use her abilities to phase through multiple planes of existence, eventually to a whole cosmic level, and she's able to remove the amber of the amber casing and the Broods that are trying to chew into the people, into the amber, by herself. She's basically able to remove that amber coating and the Brood off the planet, like phase it through it, and then smash it, which was just awesome. In the end, though, when Jason is defeated and Thane is gone, everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice about whether or not they can give up their powers to the Black Vortex. And some of the heroes do decide to keep their powers. However, Beast, Groot, Iceman, and Cyclops decide to give it up, and they give up their powers. Although Beast, Iceman, and Groot are a bit more still slightly powered up, Cyclops still looks exactly the same he was right before he submitted to the Vortex. But Jean Grey, however, notices by reading his thoughts that something has changed in Scott, but within, like in his heart and stuff. And so, afterwards in space, Peter and Kitty have a moment to themselves outside the ship, and that's the moment where Star-Lord proposes to Kitty Pryde, and she accepts. And that's basically what happens in the Black Vortex. Okay, the good things I liked about the story arc were, and this is something that's been going on in the Star-Lord title, but Kitty Pryde's and Kitty and Peter's relationship was was sort of the main focus of the story. Because at the beginning of the story arc, after they've just escaped the Slaughter Lords, when Peter is the one who says, okay, let's line up and power up so we can beat these guys, but Kitty's against using it, saying it's too risky and we can't do it. But Peter says that we have to, it's the only way to survive and stuff, and they debate about that. However, later on as the story arc goes, it continues, Peter is starting to understand Kitty's point of view, especially at the end when he almost does submit to the Vortex, but when he realizes he's losing Kitty, he doesn't want to lose her, and he decides that no power is worth it, even though it could save the day. And Kitty, she realizes that, in order to save the day and help keep people safe, she has to submit to the power of the Vortex, even though that it could come with a very high price. Also, I want to point out that Kitty did keep her powers, her cosmic level of power, at the end of the story arc. Also, the last issue, though, Black Vortex Omega, was very well written. The entire issue is told from Kitty Pryde's perspective, and Sam Humphries does an amazing job writing Kitty Pryde. And I think that was great, and I cannot wait to see what he has for the newly engaged couple in the future of Marvel. Let's hope that Secret Wars doesn't disrupt their engagement, even though the next one of the titles in Secret Wars will be Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde. It apparently will feature the Age of Apocalypse version of Kitty, so that will be interesting to see. But overall, I think if you have Sam Humphries writing a book with Star-Lord and or Kitty Pryde now, I think anyone should buy it. Also, another character I enjoyed in the story arc was Adult Beast, especially when he went full-on cosmic with the power of the Black Vortex, because when Beast got his cosmic upgrade, he started to figure out how to fix everything, because one of the things he did was bring the original X-Men back to the present, and when he realized he couldn't send them back to the past, he figured something went wrong, and now he pretty much figured out what he did, and apparently he caused a fracture in time and space. And then when he realized that, he figured out he can't. Beast realizes his mistakes and he feels terrible about it, and that's ultimately what kind of snaps him back to normal from his whole cosmic level of enlightenment and stuff. And at the end of the story arc, he does say that he did make a mistake and that he needs to fix it as Hank McCoy, scientist, not as a cosmic being, and that's basically what leads Hank to give up his powers. Okay, only downside I can think of is that I think in order to really get the full scope of the story arc, you are going to have to read the issues of Star-Lord that led up to this. So, but it's not much. It's only issues 4 through 8, and 9 and 11 were the ones featured in the overall actual Black Vortex crossover. So yeah. And also, again, it did involve a lot of books to tell, which is both a good and a bad thing. Good because it does have a fast-paced feel to it. Bad because you do have to get a lot of titles that you don't usually pick up. For me, I had to get Guardians, All New X-Men, Guardians Team Up. Also, one issue of Guardians that was in this was $5 because it was the Guardians of the Galaxy's 25th issue. So yeah, giving you a heads up about that. But overall, I would say for the Black Vortex story arc, get the individual issues if you want. I think the trade is coming out later this summer in a hardback condition, so I would say get the trade. But if you can't wait that long, go ahead and get the individual issues if you want. So that's my review of the Black Vortex. Thank you again for watching. Let me know if instead of doing a comic book countdown, you just want me to review a particular story arc with this type of video again. Again, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.